Hey there, my name is Simon, and I have no sound in my headphones right now because I tend to forget to actually plug it into my microphone instead. There we go. I just woke up. It's 1:11 p.m. 11 minutes past 1. Very confusing. Just woke up. Just wanted to get done with this actually, so I can start productive. Actually, just jumpstart my brain, give it a task to do that is fun but still productive, still that gets me going. And I'm not hungover today, so that's nice. I am a bit snotty. Yeah, and I'm still a bit dehydrated. I haven't been drinking enough water. And I drank a little bit too yesterday. Also got some gin and tonic left over since yesterday that I didn't drink. I poured more than I drank of it. So I don't know if I'm gonna drink that later. Just let it sit and drink it later in a few hours, or if I'm just gonna pour it out. I don't really know yet, to be honest. It probably will taste fine in a after 12 hours or something. Maybe I should put it in the fridge so it's actually a bit cold at least. Problem is not a lot of carbohydrate. Is it called carbohydrate? Carbonated. It's no carbon. It's not carbonated water. Carbohydrates is the other thing. I'm starting to actually need to check up these words because they're a little bit jumbled for me right now. I don't know really which is which totally. Carbonated is, I think, the bubbles. Yeah, it is carbonated water. And then carbohydrates is the thing you got in pasta and in flour. I think that's correct. Yeah. So I'm gonna do some chores today because I haven't done that. Um, my life is always a balancing act of trying to get stuff done, but not to push myself too far, doing too much at the same time. Because yeah, I have a really hard time just taking care of myself and still eating well, sleeping well, going to school, dealing with my anxiety, doing fun, productive things that I like to do. At least I've done this every day, and that feels nice because then I actually get an opportunity to express and somewhere to improve to, and something I still really, really enjoy doing. So it's kind of perfect because the way I'm doing it now, the vlogs, I don't feel it's hard to balance in my life. Even though sometimes I might be not in the greatest mood to do them or the greatest mindset to deliver the optimal commentary or the optimal vlog, rather. I still do them anyway. The last few, they've been a little bit different. I haven't been on top. But yeah, that's also, at least it's a change of pace, even though I think they're just a bit worse than the one previous, or yeah, the one previous to that. Yeah, but I really can't keep a balance. I got burnt out. I've been on the brink of being burnt out a lot since I was a kid. I think I've been it several times, but because yeah, I've had all the depression I had when I was like 10 to 14, especially 10 to 15 even. And then I've been depressed since then also, but it's very hard for me to tell when I'm depressed or not. I can't really identify it anymore because depression is different for me, quite different for me nowadays because I've had it such a big part of my life. I don't think I react to it at, uh, as other people do quite. It's very strange, but yeah, having dyslexia, ADD, anxiety, depression when I was a kid, school took a lot of toll on me, so I skipped a lot of school and wouldn't go to school often for 1-2 weeks just because I was overwhelmed simply. I didn't take care of myself either well back then. I think I don't know when my destructive way of living started. I live quite destructively. I kinda did it actively back then, even because my depression was so bad, so like I didn't eat often, and it was a time where I didn't allow myself to laugh really either after my father passed away. I don't know, it's just something I decided. I could smile, but it was I, I think there was this period when I didn't laugh for over a year, maybe several years. If I would smile and stuff like that, it was only a front. I I don't know. I just put on this fake smile quite a lot back then. I don't know if I can produce it anymore in the same way. I wouldn't be able to do it just now, basically. It's something I can't really remember, but it's when I felt pressure, like you should smile here. I could manage to do it, but yeah, I could muster out a smile, but I didn't allow myself to laugh for a real long time. I almost forgot how you did it for a while too. But yeah, so that combined with lack of sleep, I didn't eat every day either because I don't know. It's probably the same thing. Some days I just thought that I weren't worth eating basically. My my mindset was very, very bad when I was younger. And some stuff still stick that I actually don't take care of myself because I basically it ended up that I almost lived destructively on purpose back then. Not really on purpose, but it was at least symptoms of my anxiety and depression was basically to, yeah, basically punished myself. And it just takes a lot of time to recover from that, I suppose. Back then, I was really on the brink of a mental breakdown. Like, when I was around 14 or around there, like, something something could have probably triggered like some serious mental issues worse than the one I had and dealing with now. But the ones like I'm pretty sure I was close to developing would be a lot more serious. Back then I was basically about to lose my grip of reality almost to some extent. Just by, yeah, so much anxiety and also I just the thought of all the existential things, life and death, stuff like that. Been thinking about that when I was 10, so 4 years of that can fuck a teenager or a child up pretty badly. But yeah, just a combination of all the things that were just such a mess in my head back then. Nowadays, I'm at least fairly comfortable with my existence. I understand it quite nicely. There have been scientifical theoretical improvements of the universe and the human existence since then. It's quite a long time now, so also I've understand more of it because I've actually done a little bit research on it, snapping up this and that. I want to I want to know more about scientifical things, but I got a passion for it, but it's not so much of an active passion, rather a passive one. When I find something that it does interest me, but I don't search for it a lot. It might be something I do when I get a bit older or just really feel like it. Nowadays, I search for information about it every once in a while, but not that often. And it's hard also when a lot of really the details and there's a lot of information hidden in academic texts and there's also a lot of stuff in because the academic text I read is a lot different because I'm not great at math, or I'm pretty good at it, but I didn't study so much math in high school. I only took 2 courses of math, which isn't a lot. So my math is something I'm gonna study it a bit more after I'm done with this, I think. Might also read some English just to, yeah, just to have it on paper, because I'm a good English speaker, or fairly good. I still have some grammatical issues, and I don't know so many of the rules. Actually, I've always been terrible at grammatical rules, both in Swedish and English. I mean, I do follow them mostly without knowing it, or I know it, but I never remembered like the actual rules of a lot of things. So I don't know. It's something my brain just have a hard time remembering that sort of things. Even when I was a kid, I had a really hard time just remembering the days of the week and months of the year, and I don't know. I've got quite good memory, but I also got a very lacking memory in some senses. But I think it's also when it doesn't. I don't know. Some things doesn't quite interest me or stick completely. Kind of information might be some part of my brain that's a little bit less developed than other parts, below average maybe. And maybe I've got some other parts in my brain that's more developed than average or more used. It's interesting how all brains function differently. So, I don't know. I don't know why I am as I am, but I'm for sure weird and a little bit unique. Everyone's unique, but I don't know. I'm standing out in the crowd more than most people. But yeah, um, but I am also think that I'm slightly narcissistic. Been been almost. I don't know. It's something haven't like fully developed, but I think I have some traits of narcissism. It's probably also because I heard a lot of from like teacher and friends, and I still hear it sometimes, but especially when I was a kid, I heard a lot like not only encouragement, but a lot of, for example, adults and teachers and sometimes friends, but people would just say basically that I would do like something great in my life, or I would have a great career and stuff like that, and say that I'm also getting the compliment of being like one of the most intelligent kids they've ever met and stuff like that. And I mean, it's something I probably should be happy about getting that kind of praise. But at the same time, I've always been doubting it too. I think it's something I got cognitive dissonance about, very divided feelings about ever since I got it. Because at the same time as I did enjoy getting it and enjoy getting that kind of praise too. I mean, it's something just. I think that it have triggered a little bit of narcissism in me. I I don't know. Sometimes I feel a little bit like the chosen one in life. I have slight thoughts like that. Maybe not as bad anymore, but I try not to think like that too much because I know it's not healthy. But I did it a lot more when I was younger, and yeah, but just this divided feeling of enjoying the praise and not doing it because it also creates this weird pressure that I don't know, that people suspect more of me, maybe, or something like that. I mean, it wasn't that long time ago I got it either from a few friends in class. It was this party in the spring or something. I was basically sober that party, but I just went there a little bit. And they were pretty drunk, and as I said, I've been skipping school a lot. I don't know how many percentage of the school in college I've actually been in, or in high school, or in school at all. I probably haven't been to school about 50% of the time since, on average, since I was 10. Somewhere around there. It depends. Some periods I go to school a bit more. In the high school, I went to school fairly often. Now, in college, I've done most of the studying alone, by myself. And I probably got like 75% of not being there when we've had designated classes and stuff like that. Probably 70 plus percent skipping or not being there. I don't, I can't, I don't really know the word for it when you're not attending, except skipping. And yeah, and when I was like in 8th to 10th grade or something like that, 8th to 11th grade, then I had it. This so fucking. It's one of the strangest and most. In some sense, in one sense, it's one of the most fucked up memories I have too. But, like, I have a lot more fucked up memories than that. But, in one category, it's quite fucked up. So I'm basically at school. I can't remember where we are. If we're in like the aula, the big meeting room, or we're in somewhere where there are a lot of kids around. from a few different classes. I think maybe from everyone from all the classes. I don't remember exact the scenario where we were and how many were around there, but it was a lot of kids around there. And we're about 14. And for some reason, I don't even remember what teacher it was, but it's such a bad move. You will decide how fucked up you think is afterwards. It might be a bit more normal in other countries, maybe, but in Sweden, this is not acceptable. But according to me, at least. So we're at this place where and the teacher starts basically reading up the amounts of time people have been, like the percentage of skipping school, basically. Like, and starts ranking them. So it starts listing up a bunch of names, and it's mostly like the rough kids or whatever to call them. I've always been a strange part of that, but still not. It's very strange. I've been very different from the other, like, not the bad kids, but I've been a part of it to some extent because I've been skipping class a lot, but I didn't really hang out with those kind of people because it tends to be the idiots. Like, they have a lot to deal with, but that's just how they decide to deal with it, is to become the idiots of class, basically. Those who don't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck to some extent, but I still cared a lot at the same time too, so that's what made me stand out, I guess. But the reading of these names, and they would read off one name and say like blah 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 hours away, and people would laugh, and then the numbers just start rising and rising. So they count one name after another, and more laughter comes. And basically, I don't really. I know that I've been away a lot, but my name don't come up until I think it's the last name. They read up my name, and this is a teacher doing it in front of everyone, basically. Like, that can't be allowed. It's such a strange thing to do. I think it was some kind of plan to discourage us or something, but I mean, so fucked up. But yeah, so my name basically gets read up last, and I've also been among there laughing, but I mean, it really surprised me. It it made me lose my guard, basically, because it was so unexpected. It almost like, because I've had the most way time away, it also feels like it's more targeted towards me, like reading out my name last, and especially if with the whole rising of the situation, like it will be progressively more and more laughs the more you've been away, and I don't know. It was just so fucking strange. That teacher can go fuck himself. I think it was a he, at least. I don't know. I have no idea what his thought behind it was, what the purpose was. that we would just think that it was funny and be able to handle it or whatever, but it's something I will never forget, even though I don't remember this scenario perfectly. I still, I, s- I still remember parts of me, other parts of it rather, and it's just something that, I mean, it affected me quite a lot. I don't know in what sense, but I just thought it was so fucked up. Like, not okay at all. Not okay. Sorry, I accidentally muted my microphone for a little bit. Yeah. Well, a little bit talk about my school and my school years when I was younger. A little bit, but mostly how, yeah, my destructive lifestyle. Even though I don't, I try to just. I live a little bit destructive nowadays too, but that's just how I work because I can't really manage to do all the things you're supposed to do when you're an adult. Pay rent. I'm pretty good at paying rent and stuff like that though, but it's one of the things I see to that I actually do properly, so I can at least live here. But paying rent, keeping everything clean and nice and tidy, I'm not capable of doing that at all. Making food, doing the dishes, doing laundry, going to school, trying to have a social life, trying to get enough sleep, eating well, actually cooking proper food, and learning new food recipes. I like cooking, but it's so rare I actually try doing new recipes, even though I got a quite good feeling for cook food. My father was a chef, so I don't know, maybe it helped a little bit in some way, just seeing people cook a lot and taste a lot of food since I was little. But yeah, school. School with ADD, dyslexia, anxiety, and depression sometimes too, dealing with that. Dealing with existing. Dealing with my father's death. Dealing with. I don't know, I'm just dealing with so many things and I can't quite handle it so well. And I don't know, I don't have so much choice then to just keep on doing it, trying to get a little better at able to be able to manage all these things, but I also try not to push myself too far, which is also hard to know where, even though you need to do something important, maybe it might be more important for you to just relax sometimes. Sometimes things aren't as important as you make them up to be, and maybe you should focus on doing other things to fix yourself ahead of that. Like trying to eat and sleep properly, it's something I've started to try to actually allow myself to do. To focus on that than doing like schoolwork, to actually take care of my body and my health and my mental health through that too. But yeah, I don't know. Life's hard for me. I'm not that good at it. I'm not good at living. Maybe I will get better at it one day, but it's probably gonna take a few years, but you never know. Just try to improve. I don't know where I'm supposed to set up my goals either about this. It's very hard to set realistic goals about it or to set any goals at all when it comes to dealing with it's a very abstract thing to have as a goal, but maybe I should figure that out. See if I can actually come up with a good goal. Goals can help you in life. They tend to do. We're good striving towards goals as humans. We quite often reach them if they're at least fairly realistic. I mean, you can also set goals that are impossible, and I don't think that's too healthy to do. But sometimes the impossible isn't impossible, so setting unrealistic goals might be good too, because you might do something amazing, but very complex. Well, goodbye. Thanks for watching. This was a long one at least. I don't know, I'm going to do some dishes or something. Put the dishes in the sink at least. Clean up a bit here. Yeah. That's it. Goodbye. Bye bye.